Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Kimbo here, and it's time for an epic discussion video. We're going to keep it around 10 minutes with this, but yeah. First of all, sorry for not putting that much content lately. Been taking it easy the beginning part of the year. Also been posting a lot on TikTok, which, is going soon or gone at the time of seeing this. Managed to make it to 300 followers, which that's really, really wild, man. But yeah. If you want to and you don't live in the US, feel free to go and check out my TikTok. Won't be able to upload to it or anything after because obviously the ban. But yeah, putting out content there, like some of the shorts and everything, because they're a lot of like shorts videos that I've had a lot of fun like editing and everything. Also check out my Instagram if interested. Gonna be putting out shorts on there as well. But yeah, so that being said, let's get into this discussion video. So with this, we're gonna talk about a couple things. First thing being, after I like choke on air or hiccup or whatever the hell that was, talking about GOLEMROCK. So the bay that is slated to come out January 25th, aka in about, damn, at this time of this, like about a week. That's pretty wild, man. Not often where they like, announce a bay and then it dropping a little bit after, but it being one bay. Goodness gracious. But yeah, it being one bay. But it comes with 160 and UN. So, they made a video showing this bay off, that being TT. And it reminds me so much of like Bandit Golem or Bandit Gorem, from Metal Fight Beyblade, which I absolutely love to see it. Reminds me so much of it. Or like, like Earth Virgo was, like the ball spike type of setup with it. That's what Under Needle reminds me a lot of. But anyways, GOLEMROCK, it seems like it's got that gimmick of like, depending on where you hit it, the blades doing damage. So kind of like a Hell's Chain type of thing that they try to do with it. Some of the blades upper attack, some of them pushing down with lower attack. One of the things that makes Hell's Chain super diverse and such, but it's balanced. But using it for defense, oh my goodness, I'm sorry for the yawning, but big time defense with this. I'll probably take a nap after. But yeah. So some of the blades hitting from the top, meant to be that defense to push back from the top, and then some of them being the defense to push from the bottom or push the bait down, depending on where you hit it. So I think it's going to be overall a fun layer to use for sure, especially like anti-attack and such, like the way that it's shaped overall, defense, but also you can imagine anti-attack with it, the way that it's shaped. I'm excited for it for sure. But it comes with 160, which the one ratchet is going to make it where it hits one point, of course, with it, and that big time point is going to use it for the defense, kind of like the Shinobi Shadow type of effect with it, except this thing might have a decent amount of weight with it, plus having that lower height with it, it's going to make it where like it's basically a shorter Shinobi Shadow, maybe with a little bit more weight and such. Not as rounded blades, but like, the big time barrage still. Damn, I'm yawning a lot, yawning a ton. I'm going to take a nap. Adult naps are important too. But yeah, so with that 160 is definitely gonna make contact with the bay, and using that for the defense, with other bays if they try to hit the ratchet and such. Of course, that point being like a double-edged sword because it caused bursting, but like, overall throwing the balance off a little bit with it. But under needle, which some people sleeping on it, just being like, oh, it's a shorter needle, like can they think of something else, It's kind of like how they did like low flat, low rush. They're doing under for like other bits. So we got under needle with this. Imagine if they did under metal needle. How many people would be triggered by that? But yeah, imagine they did like under ball or some other tips like that. Under dot, like etc. So just some examples. But under needle, I think is actually going to make it where like it's going to perform pretty well, because it seems like it's going to be very, very balanced, because it being lower, the needle, honestly, needle being pretty sharp to even where it rolls and such. Under needle having that ball shape with it is going to make it where this thing probably will have some pretty nice roll with it, and it's going to be really, really steady and being lower to the ground, lower center of gravity and everything. So I see this thing having some really nice defense with it and being a fun bay overall. GOLEMROCK, I'm looking forward to it. But this isn't only to talk about GOLEMROCK. This is also to talk about the custom X line, the CX line. So, of course, we've got the 3 different lines for Beyblade X as a whole, 2 fingers, but 3 different lines. Let me see. So we got the basic X line, the BX line, which we see bays like Drain Sword, House Scythe, Night Shield, Wizard Arrow, etc., etc. Most recent edition, Crimson Garuda being one of them. Shelter Drake is also going to be part of the BX line. It's basically where the metal goes on the inside where the prongs go. That being, the thing. They're made out of metal for the BX line. Then for the UX line, you have it where it's resin on the inside. So you got bays like Dran Buster, Hell's Hammer, Wizard Rod, Shinobi Shadow. Yeah. Also, even like Samurai Saber and some of the latest bays, you know, being UX bays. Metal on the outside, and it switches the weight distribution, having the metal on the outside, basically. So the next one being CX. So I can imagine, like, Multi's got a big time slump in the show. I know, a little spoiler for the show and stuff, but won't be surprised if she's the one that creates the CX line, custom X line. My personal thoughts on how I think this is going to go. Over time, you see it where they make the blades, or whatever you call them, fusion wheels, layers, etc. More adept to customization, you know, so they'll split them up into different parts. So, you know, like how we had the PHW bays and then the hybrid wheel system, splitting the bays up into like the wheel and the face bolt. You know, yeah, the face bolt, clear wheel, fusion wheel, all that good stuff. Track tip, all those parts coming together. With the BX and UX lines, we've seen, of course, the blade, with it being one piece, but it's kind of like how it was for Beyblade X, how it was for Beyblade Burst, where we had the layers and they were one piece during the first 3 seasons, and then, you know, I mean, single layer, dual layer, and God when I say the first 3 seasons, and then Turbo or Cho-Z, same thing. But then with GT, how we got like the chip, we got the layer weight, and then we got the actual part of the layer itself, you know, that type of split up with it. And then even like how we saw more customization with Metal Fight, with like the wheel being switched into different modes and such for 4D bays, it being that realm with this. So CX, I can imagine the bays being split at least into 3 parts. So probably like we're gonna have the part on top where it has you know, like the face motif, the avatar motif of each Beyblade, as well as like maybe a part made out of resin and such, that being the top part, kind of like how it is for Metal Fight Beyblade, but then having the middle part to pay homage to Plastic Gen. And then the way they do it, them clipping together, is going to be like how it is for Burst, you know, with the GT bays, you know, sort of in that way. Like how it's more, you know, customization and such. Kind of like that. Even with Super King a little bit, you know, and of course Dynamite Battle, like how they split them into different parts. So I see the top part being like made out of resin, and then having the motif on the inside, and then the middle part being the metal, you know, or the blade, interchanging that being a part, and then there probably being a bottom part for it as well. So 3 parts, like the under base part, probably having something to do with like maybe the burst resistance and such with it, depending on the mold with that. But yeah, I can see that being split into 3 parts, and then we'll have the ratchet and the bit still being like the ratchet being one part, the bit being one part as well. Maybe they'll have some, who knows, in the future, maybe they'll make it where there's bits that switch modes, like kind of like how Transpoint does, you know, except it's like a whole flat spike type scenario where you can switch between them. Who knows? It's probably going to be a matter of time before that can happen. But I can imagine it happening down the road, especially with like CX. But especially that being the case for the blade, how the blade's going to go. Maybe Ratchet's being split into different pieces over time. The same thing for bits. Not quite yet, but at least like the blade being split into 3 at least parts I see with it. Like I said, like a clear wheel type thing at the top, the metal part, and then maybe another piece on the bottom for them to clip all together. I can imagine it being that way. And the metal piece that we see like in the Koro magazine, or like the teaser they have, it would make sense if like the top and the bottom pieces clip together with that metal, and then they all fit snugly, and that's how you have the customization. Like some elements of Burst, elements of Metal Fight, elements of Plastic Gen, all that good stuff with it. But I'm really excited for it. So yeah, guys, I guess that's it for this discussion video. We're going to keep it with that. Let me know your thoughts on how you think this could go with a Beyblade X's CX or Custom X line. I'm really excited for it. Big time customization incoming. I imagine like we get a new Duran, a new Hell's Bay, and a new Bay for Multi. Probably like a Night Lance Evo, if you will, because we got Wizard Rod, you know what I mean, for UX. So it'll make sense if like CX we get one for Night Lance. But anyways, guys, I'm really hyped. And also we got Night Mail too on, you know, Multi's roster for UX base. But I'm hyped. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm excited for the CX line. It's going to be coming in March. It's usually when they have like a new line come out, and they're sticking with that, but they're throwing things off a bit, like having different moments of like the show starting, like the end of last year, season 2 starting. They're switching it up with the show compared to like when they're dropping new kind of gimmicks and stuff. And CX, I'm really excited for it, for sure. But I also like how they're keeping the balance. We're still seeing UX bays get made because Shelter Drake, you know, like DX bays get made, I mean, with Shelter Drake. But then also UX bays being put in, and then CX bays, we're going to probably see a bunch of those intertwined. So it shows all the series, you know, BX, UX, CX, no line being better than the other, just showing the diversity of Beyblade X already. And it's going to grow that much more with the future. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this discussion video. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it is your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Until then, stay awesome and go shoot. Let it rip. I'm up out of here.